Alright, God Shadow back at it in Modern. Yesterday was a little bit of a rough go. Um, we finished one league 2-3 and the other one 3-2. So not the greatest of results. Especially Tron and Hollow Ones were killing us. But other than that, still pretty decent. And we're still trying to figure out like the Graveyard Hate suit here, right? So I've put Ceremonious Reaction in because Affinity is like a thing right now. People are tending to Affinity in order to combat Hollow One and humans specifically. Scarab God, I do think, is definitely worse than the Scorpion God for us. Way too slow, a little bit too tiny, don't like it really. Want to have the Scorpion God back and be able to do something on board and really get like the value train going. And then there's something else that we might want to try, and I've been a big proponent of Kalitas when it came out because Black was just lacking an exile effect. And now we do have Phyrexian Scriptures, and though I'm not sure, like unlike Kalitas, you don't get the effect immediately in case, you have a removal spell, but Phyrexian Scriptures might still be worth it, especially in our shell, looking at what we can do. Let's say we have a Pia and Kiran Lar in-game, or a Nimble Obstructionist, so we can make our main body an artifact, and then we only have Thopters, so they aren't being killed anyway. So it seems to be very synergetic with what we're doing anyway. And I do like the exile clause. Many decks can't really play around it. Like, let's say we're playing against Holoron, right? We do want to have exile, we do want to have a Damnation-like effect. And if you're threatening, yes, of course, it's a little bit slow. But as I said, sometimes you can go like have a Snapcaster in game, pump it a little bit. Of course, it's not great against Hollow One. That's what we're going to say. But we do have Kolaghan's Commands and Terminates against Hollow One, so we're like a little bit better against that card specifically anyway. And today we apparently have to deal with ugly Terminates. Not the the artwork's fine, just the frame. So Scarab God, you are leaving definitely, and we want to have the Scorpion God back. So this is probably like the shell that I would like to run if it was up to me, and of course it is, but like we're still trying things out. So Phyrexian Scriptures as one of over Kalitas. We of course can get it back, and like enchantments in Grixis Control are always a little bit weird. And another oddball I wanted to try is Suffer the Past. Suffer the Past, certainly an interesting card. I don't know if you know it. So exile X target cards from target player's graveyard. For each card exiled this way, the player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So this is also a card that we could possibly bring in against Burn. And if we draw it late in the game, like if we really need to turn the corner and we have like, I don't know, 8-9 mana, like this can really just be a game finisher, right? Exile 9 cards and then just like instant win. So that's pretty good. Been super happy with it, Zedicaster. Gotta say, like in comparison to Anger of the Gods, just a great card overall. Phyrexian Scriptures. So I'm not sure if we want. Ceremonious Rejection, of course, also good against the Tron matchup. Still bad matchup though. And Damping Sphere isn't really doing anything. Although I have to say, that whenever I'm playing Tron, they don't seem to bring anything in against Damping Sphere, so maybe like fair decks aren't really bringing it in or playing it. Been really surprised by that. So how many exile effects do we have now? Just 3, right? So not so many. And then like Kalitas and other exile effects always a bad idea. Letting our opponent choose what they want to do with the graveyard is always bad. So I'm thinking about doing this. Like I would rather have Kalitas than a Phyrexian Scriptures. Alright, let's go with the Kalitas first, not trying out too many oddball Sable cards at the same time. Yeah, looking at our last league here that we can't see anymore. Charlie, what's Charlie on, man? Sneaky Pete, we've played against him extensively. He's playing the... Oh, there we go. He's playing Ad Nauseam, Laplacian on a green combo deck. I still don't know what String Const is, but... Alright, we do have a decent hand. We're a little light of interaction and do need to find another land. But we might be able to buy a little bit of time up until that's the case. So we're going to keep on the draw here. And we're playing against Affinity. Alright, so we do have a Kolaghan's Command. We also do have a Lightning Bolt. And we do have a Liliana, which might be important. So we only need to draw lands as of now. Want to go Black-Red Souls here. And have a look at their hands. So, Signal Pests, he's playing Inventor's Fair and Affinity. That's weird. But I guess okay. Some Affinity lists are running Karn as of now. No. Alright. Thought he had redrawn an Arcbound Ravager there. So if we draw a land next turn, or within the next couple of turns, then we are in a good position, but apparently we are not. So we're gonna kill a Signal Pest this turn, and then try to set up for the next turn. Might be a blowout Kolaghan's Command, if we hit all the right things. There's another Outbound Ravager, which is horrendous for us. Hate that card. So if we kill a Signal Pest, he's attacking for 2. Vault Scourge's ability, very relevant though. I do think that we're actually gonna go with the Vault Scourge. Oops, I still got the padlock on. Okay, we really need to see a land here. Yeah, gonna go with Watery Grave. Land. The worst of the possible draws. We're still trying to block the Outbound Ravager. Maybe that leads him to like make a mistake. Another Outbound Ravager. Yeah, why not? Because, you know, Modo. We can draw 3 Snapcaster Mages, so he can draw 3 Outbound Ravagers. Problem is, our Snapcaster Mages are way worse in multiples than his Outbound Ravager is. So we really have to tinker a little bit around. Not enough yet. What we have, like even if we do get to 3 lands, we would still need to engineer a situation where, okay, so that's weird as well. He's deliberately sacrificing an Arcbound Ravager here. Did draw a land. So we do have Liliana up. And that's, of course, I mean, that's really neat, right? If you have 2 Arcbound Ravagers in play and you sacrifice one to the other, then you get like 2 counters instead of 1. Inkmoth Nexus, very important here. Still doesn't have the mana for a Galvanic Blast though. So let's see what it does. Inkmoth Nexus is also problematic because of Liliana, that's why it's really not a good matchup for her. But he does need to do something here, right? Okay. So if we go kill here, so we're at 8. We cannot really go. Like if we make him sacrifice these 2, then destroy, kill, and then we go bolt. Or should we just bolt now? No, that's fine. I'm taking 3, going to 5, still, well, somewhat safe of the Galvanic Blast. And now we're gonna go Snapcaster Mage bolts, because if we go destroy here, like if we go 2 damage here, then he'll just sacrifice 2 Darksteel Citadels, right? So then we can't kill the Arcbound Ravager. He has a threat that we cannot get rid of anymore. And 3 damage or 4 damage in the air, 5 damage even, actually. So we're gonna kill the Arcbound Ravager, trying to kill it with the Snapcaster Mage here. That makes him sacrifice at least 3 permanents. So he's gonna push it, and then we can kill it off with the Kolaghan's Command, no matter where he puts it. Light bolt. Alright, so this is great. Now we can kill his whole board with a Kolaghan's Command. Get in for a little bit of damage. Bloodstained Mire, probably another card that we're going to play because we know of the Galvanic Blast in his hand. Of course, at some point we might be able to discard that, but as of now, destroy target artifact and deal 2 damage. Yeah, destroy and deal 2 damage. Gonna leave the Bloodstained Mire up, but I mean, he needs 2 things now, right? He needs to have a colorless source, and then he needs an additional artifact in order to kill us with the Galvanic Blast, and we might have some sort of like Inquisitioner here effect next turn. So then I'm going to fetch, but not before. Really don't want to risk it. And yeah, Inventor Sphere showcasing here how unimportant it is. Okay, Ornithopter. Alright. So in case he draws anything, cranial plating here, and he has 4, so we wouldn't be dead. So I'm gonna go and discard his Galvanic Blast first. And then next turn we might be able to pump out a Pia and Kiran Lar here. So no plays by opponent. Now we're gonna fetch 4 Steam Vents, kill the Ornithopter just so that we're safe from a cranial plating, and then we're going to turn up the heat here. And even I mean 3 Outbound Ravages are gone. I'm expecting him to not draw anymore or anytime soon. And then we're only dying to a Galvanic Blast, but he needs to find, like, he has to have the right sequence of Galvanic Blast, of color full source into Galvanic Blast. So that's important. I'm gonna leave 1 Thopter back because we don't have any other type of interaction. That is correct. K-Command is a powerful card. Alright, so this changes things. We can go attack with everything. Liliana backup. And then draw step, go K-Command. Snapcaster Mage, K-Command, destroy this card. And then next turn we are... so he's taking 5, now we're going to 13. Next turn we have 8 in play, plus additional 3 damage. So draw here, Snapcaster Mage, Kolaghan's commands. Opponents might have enough here. Might have had enough. What's not to like about a guaranteed 2-for-1 instant speed 3 mana? Well, that is correct, but you're not playing the Ferris deck as well. So target player discards a card, destroy target artifact. Yes, that's what we want to do. So what would we get? A cranial plating, so that is good for us. There's a Wandering Fumarole, and now the only thing that... no, there's actually nothing that can kill us, I think. Does he have another draw? No. Alright, so let's text back our opponent. Thanks for showing us the hand. So that's really what, like, most Affinity players usually tell me. K-Command, of course, is a powerhouse in the matchup, but usually you can't play around it. So we do want to have the Fulminator Mages, our Lilianas, well, not the best by itself. Definitely need the Damnation against the champion. Sure, but it's also one of the most aggressive and fast creature combo decks available, and not fair at that. Don't get me wrong, I like Affinity. Still gonna make clear here that, you know, sometimes you just gotta remind people that what they're doing is not comparable. Like, yeah, you get stranded sometimes, but you're also doing something like extremely unfair, which you shouldn't have access to. So I do think that's fine. So Kalitas, actually I didn't want to have Kalitas, I wanted to have a second copy of Collective Brutality. Yeah, I would call that unfair. So we're not going to go into further like verbal battles here, but are trying to fight it out on the battlefield itself. I'm gonna leave a little bit of counter magic in because of possible blood moons and also edge champions. We do have access to one ceremonious rejection. I cut back on the Izzet Steadcaster. It's super good in the matchup. We don't have red mana, but the hand is good. Are we likely to find red mana soon? We do have Damnation mana. We're on the draw. Are we taking the risk? Let's see what our opponent does. Opponent's either writing or thinking about his. Alright, he's writing and just snap keeping. Yeah, I think we're gonna keep. I mean, it's a risk, but oh man, he's playing Leylines of the Void. That is weird, man. That is weird. Come on, have a slow start though. Red. Okay, Liliana, not the worst, of course. But we still need to find something that's red or a Damnation. Like Damnation into Liliana, that's fine with me as well. So there's a Mox Opal, Mox Opal, Cranial Plating. We can take care of the Cranial Plating without a big effort. Fetch lands. Alright, let's have a look. So I'd give us one more turn like to find stuff here, and then it might be too late. So we're gonna go save a little bit of life here, since we need to fetch shock next turn. Then we're trying to get rid of his board and deploy a Liliana afterwards. Is this a problem? Well, he's giving us red mana at least, right? Now we have a tapped land. So there's the Blood Moon. I'm actually not unexcited about this. So we do have the Steadcaster. We do have access to Kolaghan's Command and Terminate now. Cryptic, of course, is dead card. Liliana will be dead for the most part as well. There's an Arcbound Ravager. And now, so, I mean, if he does have counter magic here, right? Destroy target artifacts. Tuck. Alright, so no counter magic. And now we go to our turn. Have the Steadcaster up and the Lightning Bolt. So I'm thinking about, that's like somewhat. Not sure what opponent's talking about here. So there's a Steel Overseer. Really don't have a problem with that. I still want to force him to get rid of the Arcbound Ravager here. So I'm gonna go Izzet Steadcaster. Steel Overseer is not gonna do anything on the stack. Force him to sacrifice Mox Opal. Then kill the Arcbound Ravager without being able to deploy it onto Steel Overseer. So there we go, and then we just kill the Arcbound Ravager. And then next turn we're gonna deal with the Steel Overseer. So this means, of course, I mean, we don't have to deal with all his pesky land cards. And half of the deck we can just kill with Izzet Steadcaster, but we're still, I mean, we're a little bit above the water here, but We also don't have much to do. Hey man, are you serious right now? So I'm not sure. Opponent was thinking about deploying something, then reconsidered. Of course, an edge champion doesn't have. Yeah, he was probably waiting for another. I don't know what opponent has. Well, we're drawing lands like shit. But up until that moment, he didn't have the required 3 artifacts. Now he does have the artifacts for Edge Champion. He might... oh my goodness. There comes an Edge Champion, right? No. Still no Edge Champion. There's Scorpion God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Welcome to the shit show, mates. And now we can race. I mean, we're basically through it unless he has an Edge Champion here. Edge Champion kills us. Everything else we kill. Between Izzet Steadycaster and Scorpion God, it's really tough to have a board going. Don't tap a 3rd mana, man. Don't tap a 3rd mana. There's an Arcbound Ravager, and that is fine. Do love me some Arcbound Ravagers. There is a Steel Overseer. So that's really weird. He chose to sacrifice the only land or the only artifact that we would never have gotten rid of. Alright, we do have a Bolt as well. So we're gonna try to kill the Steel Overseer here. He's gonna sacrifice it to the Arcbound Ravager. Then we're gonna attack with Scorpion God. Force him to do something else here. And he needs to deploy these 2, otherwise sacrifice these 2, otherwise Scorpion God's gonna threaten to kill him here. And I mean, you know, of course, if we had Scarab God, we could like get back some of the creatures here, but I'd much rather have our removal become more potent than it actually is. See, Affinity is just like most tribal decks. They need a critical mass. If you can keep them under removal, it's silly to think it's an unfair deck. Yeah, it's probably me. It's most probably me, mate. And Modern is super heavy removal. Well, actually, why play Affinity then? Man, guys, stop complaining. I mean, I complain as well. Alright, dude, would you please have the courtesy? Stony Sun, Katagius. Yeah, probably. Probably. So, opponents arguing that Kataki would be a $1,500 card if it were to be a different card. So I do think we can't argue with it. Like, it's a hypothesis, but you know, I've been running it for about a year, and this is where Martin is. Maybe 2 switch across. All right. So round 1, having to endure a lengthy chat with opponent salty affinity player. Don't get me wrong, as I already stated, like, I like affinity. I used to like the whole protection mechanic, like all of the Arcbund Ravages. What else do we have? Mirran Crusaders and Auric Champions of this world. And of course, the beloved swords. Yeah, but I don't know. It also is pretty. Oh shit. I think it's gonna be a Gamble Keep, right? Gamble Keep, yes. Top it, not the best roll. I got top, bottom there. Jace itself might be good in this matchup, might be bad in the matchup. Definitely gonna be too slow. Forest Burst of Paradise, like in our worst nightmares, this is Ponza. And goes into a Blood Moon here. Alright, so it's a Tireless Tracker. That's not as bad. Yeah, just gonna kill the tracker here. But Tireless Tracker is still indicating that he might be on a Ponza plan. Curse of Kruphix, Arbor Elf, yeah, that's Ponza. So we know he's drawing Arbor Elf, and we also know he's a little bit short on mana, otherwise he wouldn't play this way. So he probably doesn't have a Bloodbraid, and he hasn't shooten anything of us yet. So the thing is, if we go this way or that way, we can get rid of one of his manas here, right? Either we kill a bird and have a Liliana in play, or we fetch for a basic and have a Nimble Obstructionist in play and draw a card. Unless he wants to draw the Arbor Elf, then he might not be willing to go with that line. So I assume he doesn't have a Blood Moon in hand. Just gonna make the most mana efficient play possible here to us. Kill birds, which we likely would have done early already. And I don't know what what opponent could have in hand. He doesn't want to have the Arbor Elf, alright? So he's gonna draw into a land and then hopefully doesn't draw into another land with a cursor. But he does. And there's a Bloodbraid. Alright, so opponent doesn't have anything that's 4 or less mana. So we're going up to 3 here. And we might need to make an awkward play here. Yeah, so he's gonna play Bloodbraid. We need to protect our Liliana. He's gonna play into Stone Rain here. We're gonna get the Stone Rain anyway. Yeah, so I think the best play here is, so he's gonna cascade into Stone Rain, deciding on whether or not he wants to cast it. And then he won't, oh my goodness, there's a Molten Rain. So I'm inclined here to counter the Bloodbraid and then bounce the islands. No, that was the wrong lands. Counter, bounce. So this way, the problem is that Stone Rain resolves before Bloodbraid resolves. Otherwise, we could have gone like counter and tap or something. But this way, we get rid of like essentially both of it. So opponent's very likely to have like insane late game cards. So we are going to have a look at his hands. Well, he just has lands and Inferno Titan. Alright. That is alright. So Molten Rain is coming our way. We do not really care about it. There's no Utopia Sprawl, also not a lot of action here. Yes, and there's a Wooded Foothills, probably gonna fetch for something. And he's gonna take our red mana, which definitely is problematic. But we're going to stifle, like we want him to draw the additional land here, the Utopia Sprawl, and know what's up. In order to find counter magic for his big stuff. So we're gonna counter this here in order for him to draw a little bit of that card. We do draw another, alright, so there's a land and there's a Bloodbraid Elf. Bloodbraid, of course, is a problem. But we've bought us one turn. So let's think about this, right? What's the worst thing that can happen to us here? Probably Blood Moon. I feel like we've fought our way into this game, and I really don't want to give it up at this point. So what we could be doing here is get back the Nimble Obstructionist with the Liliana and counter the Cascade. We might also find the likes of a Snapcaster Mage. Then, of course, Cursor could attack us. We would need to block the Bloodbraid. Is that a problem to us? Don't think so. And I'm not sure if we could like be doing something else here. So we milled over a Terminate and a Colligans command. Of course, not the best for us. So I'm gonna keep the Polluted Delta here. There's another Curse of Kruphix. Alright, yeah, we're gonna counter the Cascade spell here. Draw into something. Don't want to have the cursor in play right now because we can't really handle it. And then if he attacks, we're gonna fight over this. Okay, everything on Liliana. Gonna take it here. And then we have Cryptic in order to counter something big next turn. So, I mean, of course, we could be waiting here for a Blood Moon and just fetch for a basic swamp or a basic island, that is. But at this point, I'd rather go with something more potent and then try to turn the corner next turn. There's Stone Rain. At this point, I don't really care about Stone Rains. I'm gonna counter draw here. So there's a couple of things that are still really scary for us. Alright, do we want to keep the swamp? We probably do. Yeah, we do have a lot of mana and we're a little bit slow, but Blood Moon would kill our ability to have access to Terminate, and that probably is worth the risk of taking Swamp here to the top. Then we're gonna play Pion Kiran Lar, see what he's going to destroy. We have everything we need, though also in double and triple mana terms. And then we're going to attack, start attacking, also kill the cursor. Actually, we might have the cursor just live because we want to play around whatever he's going to draw, and it's really important for us to know. Alright, so he's actually gonna fetch here. Doesn't want to draw the... Alright, Tireless Tracker actually a good draw for our opponent. And a Molten Rain, that's also a good draw, better than a Stone Rain, right? And he has 2 more lands in hand, so he can actually do that. Might have a Wooded Foothills, no, just basic forest. Alright. Yeah. Can also do both, his mana is good enough to do everything here. He already had his land drop, so he cannot play the Wooded Foothills, killing our Wandering Fumarole and dealing 2 damage to us. Yes, cannot do anything about that. We do have our Zaren Visions here. How do we want to handle this? Sulfur Falls. Probably gonna do... I'm gonna cancel first. Thoughtseize, Polluted Delta, not where we want to be. So I'm actually curious here as to whether or not he's going to block Pion Kiran Lar. If he does, then this might be a blowout turn for him. He might of course be just no blocking with anything, and that'd be fine, sure. Then we get a little bit of damage in here, and going to kill the Tireless Tracker. We can get end of turn back. Birds of Paradise also not the worst for us. He's of course gonna attack us, or either us or Liliana here. Are we gonna get back the birds? The birds. Yeah, I do think so, right? Return, and we're just gonna make him discard, in case he draws another Tireless Tracker. Alright, logic not now I feel pretty alright. So we go zack, zack, zack. Attack for 7. Counter the wooded foothills. In case he does it. Yes, he does. Because I want him to draw the birds. We're also getting a card for it. A good card that is. Oh, there's a Huntmaster. That might be something we want to counter. Man, this is. Whew. So, yeah, we could also have just finished the game here, right? We could have activated Creeping Tar Pits 2 times, get it for 6, blah 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 blah. Yeah, probably. Like next turn, we definitely had him. Good, good, good. Ponza, 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 Ponza. So we want to have the Scorpion God. We want to have access to 1. Is it Steadycaster? Liliana, a little bit mana intensive. The other Liliana actually as well, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Definitely want to have the Collective Brutalities here. Gonna scale down a little bit the 1 Cryptic Command. That is not a full art. We do need to have access to all of our discard as well as to our removal. Nimble Obstruction is actually not so great also, although he's been good there a couple of times. The worst thing that can possibly happen to us is a what's it called? Fire Titan, Lava Titan. I can't remember. Maybe Firebeard Titan? No. So is Fulminator more important to us than is Nimble Obstructions? Oops, nope, that was actually not something I wanted to do. But well, I guess not too bad. So the only thing I'd be thinking about here would be to include the one Fulminator Mage over a Nimble. And of course we are at 61 cards now, but well, can't have everything, I guess. Opponent. Thinking about what he wants to do. Oh, maybe he just went to the toilet. We have 3 lands. We do have a Polluted Delta, which I do like in the matchup. Like any fetch land, of course, is great. We do not have any removal as of now. But we do have an Izzet Steadycaster. So what are we gonna do here? If we play the Tar Pit and he goes Blood Moon, we just die. If we play the Polluted Delta, which we will, and we go fetch for an island, then we die. So we're gonna blank at least a bit of his. Okay, so that's a tracker. So tracker actually one of the worst to be playing against here, because it forces us to play to our outs in terms of terminates. So I'm going to fetch for a Watery Grave here instead of a basic, in the hopes that we find a Terminate, which we did not. One more try to find a Bolt. I also didn't find that one. So we're gonna go top, deploy the Tar Pit here. Then have the Kolaghan's Command probably be too slow to kill the Tireless Tracker. And there might also be a Bloodbraid coming, which of course is even worse. Utopia Sprawl. Alright, taking 6. Killing the Tireless Tracker, make him discard. Try to ignore. Oops. Yeah, of course. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is a tough hand to beat. I don't think we can do it. So we need to take the Thron because we cannot deal with it at any given moment. Yeah, no, we can't deal with this hand. We have drawn after the Kolaghan's Command. Not enough help. Alright. So I assume we're taking in 1 Damnation and getting rid of the Nimble Obstructionist, although we're on the play here and Nimble generally becomes way better on the play. Yeah, I'm not willing to sacrifice any other card. Yeah, I could pay first, yes. Well, if I'm gonna say keep here, we're just gonna, I mean, yeah, always these Utopia Sprawl starts, man. Right, so we gotta get a little bit of our speed back here. Hopefully it's going, yeah. Worst case scenario. So I'm gonna go blue and black here. And then hope we draw another land. So we do have access to red as well, yes. Jace, of course, somewhat of a help to us if it survives. And it does survive, but not in a fashion that we would like. Alright. So we're gonna flip Jace this turn. Do I have access to another Terminate? Scorpion God is way off at this point, and I would rather have access to Terminates, I think. To just keep ourselves afloat up until the moment that we might be able to do something else. Alright, Bloodbraid Elf, finding a Stone Rain. Worst possible for us. Why is it never finding like something tiny? I mean, you know, Ponza also can't really respect that deck. Well, I guess we're just trying to multi-Jace and then kill our opponent with bolts. There's another Blood Moon, that's a dead card. And there is an Arbor Elf. He didn't deploy a land here, right? So let's say he has a Titan in hand. Cool. Great. Let's say he has a Titan in hand. The cursor makes it more difficult for us to leverage our... So he doesn't have a Titan in hand, apparently. Alright. So that makes things different. Is he saving the land? Drop. Could be the case, of course, that he's just saving the land drop for the Tireless Tracker. There's the lands, the 6th. It's gonna get a token to draw into another mountain. We're gonna kill the tracker. Second Blood Moon. I mean, we would actually be not in a bad spot here if like just one less Stone Rain, right? So if we had a Swamp, then like this all would be gone by now. And if we find a Swamp, or any land for that matter, I mean, we would need 2 things for that one, so that doesn't really count, but there's a Kitchen Things, and there's an Infernal Titan, and I think that might be game. That might be game. Unless we find a Swamp, or our last Swamp now. So many dead draws in our land, in our deck. Okay, so we are actually being heard. Did find a Swamp, not the right one, not the right kind though. So, I mean, if we go ultimate here, man, if we had any shenanigans to like get rid of the Inferno Titan here. So if we had ever gotten to 5 mana, Scorpion God, of course, would have been a good card. Yeah, that's it. Lost to a no-skill Ponza deck. I'll be right back. Just wait for a second. All right. Going into round number 3. So during the MKM series in Rome, I was also up against Ponza in round, what was it? I was 5-1, and then I played a Ponza in round 7. Oh my goodness, these hands. I mean, it's a good hand. Actually, worse to be on the draw, on the play here, and then on the draw with a hand like this. But it's a good hand. Like, what's mana, you know? All right, so humans. And I already had the feeling that we're up against humans. I don't know why. Yeah, so I'm gonna play an island here in case he wants to attack or does some weird stuff. Okay, it's a freebooter. I'm gonna look at our hands and seeing that we can't actually cast anything. There's an Aether Vial. I'm not going to deploy the Snapcaster Mage as of now. Alright. So I don't want to have the logic not. I mean, we might be willing to have the Liliana though. Banking on the Modo bug here. So we have everything else set up. Just need to find a removal spell. Alright, so there's Manstrider. Manstrider could come down this turn. Thalia's Lieutenant, definitely a pain in the ass as well. What's worse for us? Phantasmal Image copying Thalia's Lieutenant or copying Manstrider? I'd actually say it's worse for us copying a Thalia's Lieutenant. Reason being that we can, like, if it's just one creature that we have to take care of, then we can actually do that through the means of Liliana or Jace or whatever, just by having an activated ability to target it. But Thalia's Lieutenant just makes everything better, and then like Noble Hierarchs starting to kill us, and you know. So now we're taking 4. Next turn, we need to find a bolt. Right. We can, of course, so we can't leave the option open of Thought Seizing here and finding a bolt. So I'm gonna go ahead and Thought Seize the Phantasmal Image, and then go and Zero Visions here. So now we only need to find 1 bolt, and we're actually good. This is none of this is actually a bolt. Nimble Obstructionist, interesting to fight here. Yeah, I might be topping that one. We might be blocking here and then have to terminate to block the Mantis Rider. And if he doesn't draw anything important, we're only taking 4, going to 9, then to 7 through the shock, block, kill, or another Mantis Rider, and the whole equation changes, and we might be forced 7 go to 6. into a completely different line here. So we're going to 4. So now I mean, we have to put him on nothing, right? And we're gonna blow up 1 and then just hope he hasn't drawn anything. Cast. Don't use that mana. Oh, well, that was a knot in my logic. That was bad. Yeah, sure. I mean, our damage doesn't resolve before before his damage resolves. No, that was not so good. One half the Steadycasters, one half Kalitas, one half Damnation, getting rid of Thoughtseizes, and getting in Collective Brutalities, cutting 1, well, we're even 1 card short. Okay, and I guess 1 Fulminator, no. Thoughtseize is actually better than a Fulminator Mage. Alright, so this time we're not going to keep the mana. Polluted Delta, finding us a red source, preferably red-black source. And then we go create a Noble Hierarch. Don't have double blue anymore, or triple blue in our deck, so it doesn't really matter. Drawing a second copy of Jace, so now we do have to hope that he isn't playing a Kitesail Freebooter. But that appears to be a champion of the parish. Into a Selfless Spirit, certainly also a good draw for him. Alright, let's set our Jace up here a little bit. Do we have a Terminate? Do we need anything else? Not really. Like, there might be a point where we want to have double red, but I don't think the point has come yet. So we're gonna bottom. A loot by the end of turn in case he's drawing a. Alright, so there's a Mantis Rider. That is fine. We're taking huge chunks of damage here, but then next turn we can go Damnation after killing the Selfless Spirit. And yeah, we're taking the Selfless Spirit here. Taking 5. Yes, sure. Discarding Snapcaster Mage. Not Snapcaster Mage, man. What's going on? Yeah, there's Pyr & Kiran Lar. That's what I was talking about in terms of double reds. But as of now, we're just going to discard that as well. Play a Damnation. And then start. Alright, the opponent's just giving up to the Damnation. Alright. We could also be thinking, actually, like on the play, of course, only to like be boarding a ceremonious rejection. Again, like these hands, man. Alright, better. Scorpion God keeps chasing us. I mean, yeah, we want to have you at some point, but that point ain't now. There is no hierarch. I'm gonna go for a lightning bolt here. Slow opponent down a little bit. Bolting the bird. There's a Grafdigger's Cage. That is something I like to see. No place but a Grafdigger's Cage. That is great. So he obviously has a lot of 3-drops that he has access to. There's no way that he prefers to play a Grafdigger's Cage over, like, say, a Thalia or something. Okay, Necromancer. So we want to be playing I mean, we want to kill the Necromancer anyway. No matter what comes after it, especially if it's not. Oh, if he had 4 mana, we had to be weary of a Restoration Angel. I don't know if humans still play Restoration Angels though. No human, no human. Yes, that is great. That is just great. So we can go Liliana now, kill that thing. He apparently doesn't have so much going on in his hand, right? And then next turn protect all Liliana if it survives, hopefully. I mean, he needs to have a Mantis right now in order for it to die. Alright. Opponent's giving up to the power of Liliana. And we're up 2-1. So I'm curious about what Charlie's playing. I actually want to find out. Might actually do that. Charlie, Modo, League results. Alright. Takes too long to go through it now. Didn't find it. As Charlie is a pretty common name. And isn't only being associated with magic, apparently. Damn, son. Damn. So, do I want to listen to music now? Or is it disturbing my concentration? Rack 95, alright. A ballsy hand again. But this time a little bit better in terms of mana. And we also get to draw another card. So, I actually don't think we want to have either of these. We'll rather draw into another land because we're pretty set up against like both aggressive and inaggressive decks. Oh, come on, not another Ponza deck. That can't be true. Yeah, gonna kill that thing here. Drawing a blue source as well. And then see what's happening up until we get to Cryptic Command mana. we do have enough here. So we can go logic knot into cryptic commands and even like go for a basic black source. So, well, I don't think they are playing Sim and Spirit Guide. If they are, well, opponent, you got me. You got me, you got me, you got me. Alright. So also important to note, opponents focusing on our creeping top pit there instead of our island. So might be indicating that he either doesn't have a Blood Moon in hand or he's protecting a Chandra. Either way, very interesting. So we're going to counter draw here as well. And then we do have Logic Knot up. But he's at 4 mana. What's the worst that can happen to us here? Don't think so bad, actually. Rather want to protect my Kieran Lar the turn afterwards. And then prevent the Titan from coming down. So he is a Bloodbraid. That's something that was to be expected. We're gonna take the hit, gonna kill it with the Lightning Bolt. So Pia and Kieran Lar, like for this reason, it's just really good against a Bloodbraid Elf. Because we're just able to trade at least on par. There's a Blood Moon. Do we want to counter the Blood Moon? I assume the answer is still yes. It's 2 mana up, so we're gonna go for 3 here. Zero Visions, Polluted Delta, well, Cryptic Command actually like one of the better cards here. So we're gonna take the Lightning Bolt as long as we have access to our mana. If we draw another Snapcaster Mage, then having Snapcaster Cryptic is just great. Or he just goes with non-Lightning Blood Moon, of course, that could also be the case. Stone Rain, yeah, sure. Nimble, not the worst draw. Also, next turn we can attack for 7. Not anymore. I assume we just take it. So I assume he doesn't have a Titan here in hand, otherwise he would have tried to play it. Tapped all his red mana. We're going to attack for 7 here. Okay, opponents had enough. One game won again against freaking bananas Ponza. Wanna have the collective brutalities. Wanna have 1 Steadcaster. Get rid of Liliana of the Veil, wanna have that one. So I'm still uncertain about Fulminator Mages. They do have a suboptimal hand. Fulminator Mages are actually quite good. Well, we also are 64 cards here. So what did we do last time? Pia Kieran Lar, of course, good card. Nimble Obstructionist, not at its best. Liliana on the draw, I'm gonna take out probably also 1 more Jace. Yeah. And I'm gonna run it back. Opponent's keeping once more. Utopia Sprawl. Okay, this makes it a little bit easier. I'm gonna look here. There's Blood Moon. He's kept a hand without an additional mana source. Man, that little fucker, man. So what we're gonna do here is take the Blood Moon, then he might only be playing an Ooze, and then we go Collective Brutality and take these two. Or he just gets the lands and kills our one land. Great. Just great. And there's the Blood Moon. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? For God's sake. Yeah, we can concede here. Noob opponent winning through the top decks. Alright. Well, what are we gonna do? He's fetching heavily for basics. I don't think there's a reason to bring in Fulminated Mages. Is it better than Nimble? Probably not. Is it better than Cryptic Command? Probably yes. Well, still gonna run it back. Would you like to play first? Yes. Alright, that seems to be a decent hand. So if we start off with the Bloodstained Mire here, then we can kill whatever creature is playing. Of course, we then have to not, like we're not able to fetch for a basic here. But that means, like, this play means that if he goes with the creature, we cannot deploy Jace turn 2. But he has the Utopia Sprawl start anyway, so no reason for us, you know, to play around anything here. So we're gonna grab a second swamp just to be certain. Okay, Kessig Wolfram, definitely a reason to bring in. Okay, interesting. Very interesting here. So he doesn't have a 3 mana spell. No Blood Moon. And no. Somewhat do want to keep up the Collective Brutality and get rid of the Lightning Bolt, as we cannot play both anyway at the same time. So yeah, Kessig Wolfram definitely a reason to bring in the likes of Fulminated Mage, but we hadn't seen it up until now, so there was a possibility that he just doesn't have it. There's another Collective Brutality, which doesn't seem to be at its best here. So are we going to take a look at his hands? Probably we are. We do want to have the Terminates. Don't want to have the Watergrave, I think. I mean, lands are always great. That's just a fact. He's Mr. Landrop. I mean, what of course could be the case, he has a Molten Rain in hand, right? And then doesn't have a double red. That would also explain the weird Kessig Wolfram play here. Or do we just want to bin the Terminate because we want to have everything else? I mean, we need to bin something else for the collective brutality as well. We could also just bin the collective brutality. We haven't made a land drop yet. It's this turn, right? Yeah. So turn 4. So we're binning the Terminate here. Hoping that he... Oh man, that's risky. That's risky. No, we're just gonna bin the Snapcaster Mage. Let's have a look what we find. Alright, is it Zedicaster as of now? Probably not a thing. We do have red mana as well, and there was no Blood Moon up until now. So yeah, we're just gonna go. Let's see. I mean, yeah, we would like to see their hands, but I think like all of what we have in hand is too valuable. Now we run into a Bloodbraid Elf anyway. Sure. Molten Rain, maybe taking our red source, yes, and Jace gone as well. So we got a shock here. Might be running into a second Bloodbraid Elf. Most possibly. Yeah. Sure. There's an Utopia Spore, also not the worst for opponents. We cannot kill both of them this turn, so we're gonna take 3, kill 1. There's a Scorpion God. Alright, we're back in game here. We are back in the game. So, opponents. Pretty certain that you cannot get rid of our Scorpion God. Like, whatsoever. Opponent attacking here. Sure. Definitely gonna block. Alright. I mean, yeah, it slows us down a little bit, but going Kolaghan's Command here and then get like our only red source blown up, so he's definitely gonna play Titan, which is not a big deal. Alright, he's hitting us with it. Red source, that's great. So now we can go. Do we even want that? So we're definitely gonna kill this one. I might actually be cautious with our life total here. Yeah, double bolt kills us. Another Bloodbraid Elf. Arbor Elf, alright. So we can kill the Arbor Elf, definitely want to do that. Don't want to run into another Titan here. think we're gonna play it like defense for one turn. Molten Rain. Oh, we're gonna counter scroll that one. Need our mana, mates. Do need our mana. Skip news, sure. Yep, eating the Jace. There's a polluted Delta. So what I think I want to do here is, whoops. No, cancel. This one on that one. And then go discard and deal damage here. And when they do have an Obstinate Ballot now, I mean, that'd be horrible. But there's another Scavenging Ooze. Yeah, we're running dangerously 4. So, like, if he has a bolt, then we might actually die here. Attacking into us. You can activate it for 4. We are down to 2. Alright, so are we gonna... What else can we do? We can get back a Snapcaster Mage. So any creature is killing us here, right? We can go Kolaghan's Command, get back Snapcaster Mage, fetch for 1. We've gotten already rid of 3 Bloodbraid Elves and 1 Titan. What does Snapcaster Mage then has counter scroll up? Yeah, so that's still, I think, like the safest line to take. There's Kitchen Finks, alright. So that would have been a hard to deal with card. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna go for 1 life here. We actually do need a counter spell. Need to find one. Opponent's pausing here. I mean, he's churned through like loads of his deck, and of course, I mean there is a case to be made for us to not fetch here in order to stay above water level for the bolt and Titan triggers. And I do agree, like there definitely is merit to it. But if we draw a Cryptic Command here or Logic Knot, that's also good for us. So I'm not sure what opponent's doing here. And as well, like if we do have so we also got rid of 1 Inferno Titan. I mean, he has so much things that we just died to, so many things. So many things. Don't know what opponent's doing here. If we deploy Scorpion God, then we need 2 turns, like, yeah. So we might be doing that. He also has a lot of dead draws. Any Utopia Sprawl, any lands, any Arbor Elf, Talus Tracker, Kitchen Finks. Talus Tracker might not be a dead draw. Alright, there's a Logic Knot. So we're gonna go with the Scorpion God here. Keep the Logic Knot up. And then try to run it home. I don't know if that's a phrase, something that we should be saying. Alright, now we have Logic Knot and Counter Squall up. And another land here. Come on, man. Come on! There's a Talus Tracker. Do we want to let that resolve? Might actually want to do that, because we could go... Like, there's nothing else that he could be drawing that kills us, right? Yeah, we're gonna let that slip here. Sure. Alright, now so in response here, I want to kill the Talus Tracker, and then he doesn't draw an additional card, we kill him. Yeah, so got the revenge against Ponza. Scorpion God showcasing the power that he wields. Alright, so we're 3-1. Some people say we're feeding the children, but we don't have children, so... Alright, up to the last round, the 5th round. I've already forgotten what else we played against, but there was at least one more Ponza deck that we did play against. Join the match. Bikodegia. Alright, so we know that dude. And I think he's playing humans. Might also be playing Storm. Maybe he's switching it up. Anyhow, I do like our hands against whatever of the two he might be playing. Alright, that's fine. Let's bolt the bird. I think. What do we need? We need black source here. So we're going for a straight up red source here. Saving a little bit of life. Thalia's Lieutenant. I mean, not the strongest card on the board. Not the strongest card here on the board. So we're gonna fetch again for a basic land. Having a look at his hand and then preparing Liliana next turn. There is a Mirran Crusader, which is definitely... I mean, protection from black and protection from random things. So we're gonna take the Maroon Crusader because we want to build this turn and then kill the other Thalia's Lieutenant that he's probably gonna deploy here. Yeah, and at that point, I mean, so we're getting already value out of Thalia, of Liliana. Like the spot we're in. Not much to not like. Aethervial, a little bit too late to the party. And he has a Reflector Mage and an unknown card in hand. Let's have a look here. Keep up, well, sure. Have both of these, play that one. Terminate up for a Reflector Mage, unless he cracks the Horizon Canopy, but we can't do that because of the Reflector Mage. Reflector Mage, sure. Killing that one as well, and then we're gonna go to our turn, deploy Jace here, have Terminate up, threaten to ultimate Liliana in 2 turns. Alright, winning that game. So we're on the draw. We need a Damnation. We want to have Kalitas. Don't want to have any of the counter spells. Want to have a Scorpion God for the late game. That one possibly. And these. Cutting one Thoughtseize. Actually, on the draw, I want to have a Thoughtseize over a Jace, although Jace great. Alright. Opponent taking a mulligan, so only reason for us to keep the hand, which is a little bit slow. Well, he might not have a turn 1 play, he does. Yeah, the hand is slow. So what's worse here? I mean, he could play Sin Collector, of course. That would probably be the worst case scenario, and then he would also be mana efficient. With anything else, we are still playing. So he's probably gonna play the Kai'Sa Freebooter first, yes. Just to have a look at our hand, and he sees the misery. Not much going on. Alright, so another land drop here. Well, it doesn't benefit us to pretend we have something that we don't have, because we cannot kill a Kai'Sa, we cannot kill a Thalia. What we can kill though next turn is Kai'Sa with a Nimble Obstructionist, even with an or against an Exalt trigger. We do want to have double black and double red, so I'm gonna fetch here for a red source this turn and see what opponent's up to. I mean, he attacks probably only with a Thalia here. Meddling Mage. So I'm willing to let this slip and see what he's actually gonna name, because if he names the nimble, we can just cycle it away. So that's not the worst thing. And otherwise, alright, PNKernel lar, obvious pick. Yeah. Taking 3, going to 9 here. So I'm still gonna play nimble, as it is roadblock for these two. It's not the word. It's not the best. Definitely not the best. But we need to slow them down wherever we can. I mean, PNKernel lar, of course, if we can deploy it, just great. Also pretty certain that opponent has taken out casting malcontents. Oh, well, double strikes, something that's good. Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, now we need to find something here. I do think. Gonna fetch for 1 in order to flip our Jace. Oh, yeah, sure. Top that one. So if we give this guy -2, -0, then he might actually be willing to just attack with it. Otherwise we kill Thalia. Right, opponent has 1 card in hand, which doesn't seem to be something. Well, maybe it is a spell. He's going to attack first, so it could be pump thing. We also do want to have the collective brutality back. So if he's attacking with PNKernel with Thalia here only, we're gonna kill. All right, so this is a crucial turn. So let's think about this. We kill the Thalia, then have access to flashbacking Thalia, lightning bolt. With the lightning bolt, we could be then of course hitting the meddling mage, but that wouldn't be necessarily good, as we would need the collective brutality first. And of course, I mean, he could also have a backup Thalia in his hand. That would make all of that redundant. But we still need to get rid of the first strikers. So we're gonna do this. Now it's a Restoration Angel. Another PNKernel lar. So protection from black and from green. We can block it with the One Ring Fumarole. That's not great. That's not pretty. I wonder if we get. Probably we don't get priority between first strike and normal strike, right? Otherwise we could like go take 2 or take 3 through the nimble, and then yeah, no, we gotta kill it. No way around it. and then just switch the power and toughness and then go for the normal strike. Okay. Kind of a standoff here. He does have a creature. There's a Thalia's Lieutenant, alright. Good creature at that. So now he's actually attacking with an Exalt trigger. He doesn't have the Vial on 2 anymore. Yeah, we need to block. Yeah, still. Would like to find a Damnation here in order to get back into the game. Kolaghan's Commands, interesting. Definitely gonna bottom both of these. I actually do think that we want to go kill Noble and return the Jace. Just so that we take a little bit less damage. And then if he attacks, we block here, take 3. Well, I mean, we have the Jace, so we take 2. We also still have the Wandering Fumarole, but the Kai'Sa Freebooter is just a really big problem for us. So he's probably going to be aggressive here. Attack with everything. Can't really play around something else that might be floating around. Oh my god! This is looking grim, mate. It's looking grim. So how are we gonna do this? How are we going to do this? So we could, of course, plus the Kitesail Freebooter here, and then like have something on the board. We could also go Kolaghan's Command, kill here, gets back Snapcaster block, but that's also not a winning line, so we're gonna depend on the Wandering Fumarole now. Man, we're just drawing lands here. So opponents found something of the variety of a Mantis Rider, and that's going to be it for us. Should we play Suffer the Pasture? Wonder if that's actually something that would make sense. Yeah, you know what? Why not? I'm just gonna say it. Why not? You know. Then we can also have a second Thoughtseize. Yeah, great. Instantly having it in our hands. Awesome. Might be instantly pushed to our collective brutality there. Okay. Oh, come on, man. Not great. Need to draw another land. We might be able to keep ourselves afloat for like 2-3 more turns, but after that it's gonna get really tough. Meddling Mage, sure. Bolt, probably. Kolaghan's Command, alright. Well, Kolaghan's Command is nothing that we currently do have. Well, I'm gonna save the... Oh my god. Yeah, we're gonna escalate 2 modes here. Doesn't make any sense. Pian Kiran Lar also wasn't able to deploy last game. Sure, that's a Necromancer. Oh, come on. Always the same. Always the same. So that's a Thalia's Lieutenant here. And that might actually force us to kill it this turn already in comparison to the next turn. Because if he has another Thalia's Lieutenant and we want to do in that, yeah, so this is what we played around, right? Then we wouldn't have been able to kill it anymore. We're going to take 5 now this turn, and it's already looking grim again. If we had drawn a land like a turn ago, no worries, but yeah, now it's almost too late, almost too late. So we're gonna go Snap Bolt right now. Before something else happens. We're still at a healthy life total, but man, we need our opponent to break big time here. Or to draw a red source and then like get started from there. So opponent's drawing his deck in order to find something. There's a Noble Hierarch, which, you know, with humans, so many synergies really is really strong. Yeah, Men's Dried, so we're taking 6 now. Don't see how we're getting up this. Don't see it. Just getting better. Just getting better. Yeah, so that's the only way humans wins against us. Is when we don't draw anything, they have an explosive draw. And then, you know, things start to happen. So which one's which? Alright, I don't care about that one. But I do care about that one. I'm gonna cycle here. Prevent Mantis Rider from becoming any bigger, otherwise we can't kill it anymore. Wouldn't have drawn another land here as well. Yeah, you should be attacking with the zombie as well in this turn. But I don't think it really matters. We're going down to 6, drawing a land, but the wrong one, and now he's just gonna kill us. Dark Confidence. Yeah, we're at the point of the game where nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. So we're being attacked for 7 here. I mean, like only these are 7. So we are going to be dead. And this is like, I mean, this shouldn't happen, right? We should always win against humans. And sometimes you just draw P and Kieran Lars with not having enough mana, or them having a Metal Mage out. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching and have a good day.